Hello and welcome back to Aroids Gone Awry. As usual, I'm Anastasia, your host, and today we are going over my base fertilizers or base nutrients that I put in every 2-gallon watering can that I prepare and store to be put in my pump sprayer. And this doesn't have to be part of spring, but this is part 2 of Welcome to Spring. And like I said, this is used in every 2-gallon watering can that I use. You don't have to use a watering can, but I do use watering cans and transfer to a pump sprayer. It's just easier for me. And I do recommend using a pump sprayer. I think it gives a good, even application. But without further ado, let's move on to the base nutrients. And then from there, I think that's going to end my spring videos. Pretty much anything that I put on my channel is relevant to spring. Builds of my tents, more fertilizers that I use. You can decide what you want to use from them or not. And substrates, I will give you my recipe for the substrate I mix myself, and then of course the 2 substrate companies I work with that I always put in the links. They are great by themselves, but I put them in my own mixes, and I'll show you how to do that. Now let's get back to the point of this video, which is my base nutrients and water conditioners that I put in every single watering can. The first step is you're going to want to grab whatever you're filling. My vessel of choice is the 2-gallon watering can, and fill it with tap water. I do not believe there is any reason to use specialized water for your aroid plants or any plants. The main problem with modern water systems from a plant's perspective is the level of chlorine, and we'll address that in step 2. Step 1 is to fill a 2-gallon watering can with tap water. I use a pump sprayer, as I mentioned, to deliver my water to my plants, and so these cans are just a way to store the water. Which brings us to addressing the chlorine issue. Dechlorinator is a water conditioner. It's used mainly in water systems and pools. This one is by Microbe Hydroponics. I will put everything in a link to my Amazon storefront that you can check out. I use this one. I've been using it for years. It's highly concentrated. You only need about 4 drops for 2 gallons. And so this little bottle will last you forever. It's lasted me about 6 to 8 months so far, and I add this, and then you have to wait 10 minutes, because if it's strong enough to eliminate chlorine, which is strong enough to eliminate bacteria, then it's going to be strong enough to eliminate your nutrients. So add 4 drops of this to your water, your tap water, and then wait 10 minutes before applying any nutrients, fertilizers, anything that you want to stay in your water. Step 3 for me is I add soluble silicone, which is ion 14 for me from BioAG. It is very beneficial to plants. It rebuilds cell walls, and it also helps variegated plants keep those nice whites and variegated areas that don't have chlorophyll from browning. And it has a lot of other benefits, but you want to wait 30 minutes after adding silicone to your water to make sure it's fully absorbed, and give it a good stir if it's in that powdered form. Last but not least of my base nutrients, I come in with a stout form 100 of CalMag or Cali Magic by General Hydroponics. This is calcium magnesium. It is a very beneficial supplement to plants because they become nutrient deficient in calcium and magnesium usually, or first. And also it helps to rebuild a lot of the nutrients if you just kind of rejigger that balance. So I put about a teaspoon of that in, and the silicone is a teaspoon of that as well. So you wait 30 minutes after the teaspoon of silicone, and then put CalMag, teaspoon, wait 10 minutes, and then you're ready for the second part, which will be the rest of my fertilizers, which will be in a second video. I hope you enjoyed this little video on my base nutrients, and come back for part 2, which is the rest of my fertilizers that I use and nutrients. There are a lot of things with plant science and botany, but nutrients are going to get you a lot further than broad spectrum fertilizers. Fine-tune your feedings of your plants and they will thank you. And I thank you for tuning in to Aroids Gone Awry. I'm Anastasia. Everything I showed will be linked, and I will put that in a description and in the comments. Also, the substrate companies that I work with will also be linked, and the discounts will be available to you. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to tune back in. Also check out my Instagram, @Aroids Gone Awry.